Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to give you a brief report on Asia, or I should speak slowly, which covers Japan, Korea, Taiwan, the Philippines, and India. I reached out to all. Unfortunately, there was no response from Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and the Philippines. India responded enthusiastically. Therefore, they have been my focus. The Sapphire College Ex-Students Association, which we have for short SKISA, our college is a leading tertiary institution. I think perhaps only Japan, I've heard mentioned, has a tertiary institution. Most of the others have schools. It's a leading institution, and I'm happy to say alive and well, unlike many schools that I've been hearing about, which have passed on to lay people being sold off. Sapphire College is very active and well, and a very respected college of the Bombay or Mumbai University. It is my alma mater, where I spent 4 very happy years, and it has taught me very much. It is a very active organization, and over the past 4 years, it has been active in alumni activities, as well as interaction with the college. They kind of realized that they had to increase their interaction with the college because that's where we were going to get our young recruits from. So we spend now a lot of time with those who are still in college, so they know us and can join us as soon as they graduate. Among the alumni activities, we have done rural development. As you know, there is much poverty in India, and in collaboration with an NGO, we have been successful ensuring that more than 100 villages, covering about 10,000 people, now have clean water round the year. I know that we're going to talk about water tomorrow, and so we chose water as an area to work in 2003. After having given them water, we have now built toilets. Sounds very basic, doesn't it? But can you imagine, particularly women, having to use the fields early in the morning or late at night and have no toilets? So we are now very happy to say we have built hundreds of toilets. Kitchens are smoke-free. What does that mean? They live in one room, which is usually a mud hut, and they burn wood for fire. And that creates smoke. And that had no exit when we got there and started working with them. So the walls were black. And the women and the children were inhaling the smoke. So we got hold of some young scientists and got developed a smokeless cooking range. I would hardly call it that. It's actually made of clay. And it has a chimney that goes through the roof. So now they have a smoke-free environment to cook in and live in. And we do all this for very small amounts of money. You won't believe it costs less than 100 US to make a home smoke-free in terms of cooking. I don't mean cigarettes. Make a home smoke-free for cooking. Streets now have solar lighting. They would be completely black, dark at night. And we have introduced solar panels in the streets, so they have solar lighting. To give you a little idea, the women in our villages had to walk 8 kilometers a day to fetch water. And they spent their whole day doing this. Now, needless to say, I asked this question and I was told, silly, silly, why is it only the women that have to do this? You'd see the men sitting around. But that was women's work. So they carried, as you can see, up to a level of 3 pots on their heads. And that is hilly ground. I had to walk very gingerly without any pots on my head, just trying to walk on that hilly ground. And they walked 7 kilometers with 3 pots on their head. And this is the situation today. A pond which is overflowing, and it gives them water for the whole year. And it takes no more than 3,000 or 4,000 US to change the lives of a whole village. And that's what we have been doing. At the other end of the spectrum, we've been working with children. In collaboration with the Children's Movement for Civic Awareness, we have in more than 35 schools in Mumbai CMCA clubs, which cover about 3,000 children. What do? Well, our volunteers, from very well-prepared material, give lectures once a week on subjects concerning civic awareness, like water conservation, reducing noise pollution, cleaning beaches. After some of the festivals, like Ganpati, those of you who are aware, they actually immerse the idol into the sea, along with flowers and coconuts and whatever. And so after the event, our children from all these schools go out and clean the beaches. We run a competition every year, very well participated in by the schools, on how to preserve the environment. We also honor our alumni. Over the past few years, we have been recognizing and honoring prominent alumni who are today leading politicians, some of them, journalists, activists, classical dancers, philanthropists. So at our annual day, we track them down and make sure they come and we honor them. In terms of interaction with the college, we had, right at the start of our mandate, in 2010, the visit of Mother Kathleen Connon. We also have something called coffee and cake with the teaching staff, but more importantly, with the administrative staff. Now, those of you who are aware, in developing countries, there are structures and menial tasks, which are stuff you do with your hands, like cleaning, moving, are at the bottom of the scale. We decided we need to show respect for these occupations, and we have many of those in the college. So once a year, we organize a function where we invite them all. We treat them as equals, which doesn't always happen in a developing country. And we give them cake, and we have games, and we have tea, and it has been very successful. We have something called the Skiza Bazaar. 4 times a year, we invite NGOs to bring their handicrafts to the college, and we offer them a platform to sell to the students, and they make quite a lot of money. By the way, I have a few of those in the marché, and those of you who haven't seen them are very welcome to come. We run a life skills program where we train the girls in college for more than academics. The soft skills are imparted. Excuse me. So some pictures for you. Tea with the administrative staff. Yes, please. That was not part of the plan. Thank you. The Skiza Bazaar. And I'd like to take a second to talk about something which is like the My Talk Back that was talked about. We're trying to set up something called Talking Space, which diffuses stress that could lead to depression and worse, where teen suicides are on the rise. Excuse me. We have 2 alumni who are trained counselors who will volunteer their time, be available twice a week to listen, basically, to girls and women in the neighborhood in complete confidentiality. I'd like to end with a suggestion that the geographic responsibility for coordinator in Asia, which has not been effective for the past 8 years, could be changed into a grouping of developing countries, perhaps in Africa and in Asia and in Latin America, which have similar environments and challenges, and they have experiences that we can share and learn from each other. Thank you.